Canada is home to several haunted hospitals with eerie reputations tied to their dark histories. These facilities, often former sanatoriums or psychiatric institutions, are said to be the sites of unexplained phenomena. Visitors report ghostly apparitions, shadowy figures, disembodied voices, and cold spots. Many of these hospitals witnessed immense suffering, including untimely deaths and controversial practices, leaving behind a lingering sense of unease. Abandoned corridors, mysterious footsteps, and flickering lights add to the supernatural allure. These locations captivate paranormal enthusiasts who are drawn to the chilling stories of restless spirits and unexplained events that continue to haunt their halls. Now we will visit the most haunted hospitals in Canada. Number 1. Tranquilly Sanatorium. Tranquilly Sanatorium is one of Canada's most infamous haunted locations, located near Kamloops, British Columbia. Originally opened in 1907 as a tuberculosis treatment center, it later served as a mental institution before being abandoned in the 1980s. Its grim history, marked by illness, death, and isolation, has made it a hotspot for ghost stories and paranormal activity. Visitors and urban explorers frequently report eerie encounters within the abandoned buildings and underground tunnels that connect the facility. Many claim to hear disembodied voices, whispers, and footsteps echoing in empty corridors. Some have reported the sound of children laughing or crying, believed to be the spirits of young tuberculosis patients who died there. Shadowy figures and fleeting apparitions are common, often described as former patients or staff members. One chilling tale involves the ghost of a nurse seen walking through the halls. Witnesses say she appears in old-fashioned attire and vanishes when approached. Another story speaks of a man in a hospital gown wandering the property, believed to be a former patient searching for peace. Many feel an overwhelming sense of sadness or unease, as if the hospital's tragic past is still palpable. The underground tunnels, once used for transporting supplies and moving patients discreetly, are particularly notorious. Adventurers report hearing shuffling footsteps, muffled conversations, and even screams emanating from the darkness. Today, Tranquilly Sanatorium remains a popular destination for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers. While some dismiss the tales as mere folklore, the unsettling atmosphere and numerous reports of supernatural encounters keep its reputation alive as one of Canada's most haunted places. The site stands as a chilling reminder of its somber history and the spirits that may linger there. Number 2. Riverview Hospital. Riverview Hospital, located in Coquitlam, British Columbia, is a former mental health facility shrouded in mystery and paranormal lore. Opened in 1913, it was once the largest psychiatric hospital in Canada, housing thousands of patients at its peak. Its history is filled with stories of suffering, experimental treatments, and untimely deaths, which many believe have left a lingering spiritual presence. The sprawling property, with its decaying buildings and overgrown grounds, creates an eerie atmosphere. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts often report unexplained phenomena. Strange noises such as footsteps, whispers, and muffled cries are commonly heard in the empty halls. Many have described seeing shadowy figures darting around corners or standing at windows. A recurring apparition is said to be that of a former patient dressed in a hospital gown, silently roaming the property. One of the most chilling areas is the West Lawn building, which housed some of the most challenging cases. Reports of sudden cold spots, flickering lights, and objects moving on their own have been documented. Visitors also recount feelings of dread and being watched, as if unseen eyes are following them. Another notorious location is the underground tunnels, once used to connect different parts of the hospital. These tunnels are said to be haunted by the spirits of former patients and staff. Echoes of voices and the sound of rolling gurneys are frequently reported, even though the tunnels have long been abandoned. Number 3. St. Joseph's Hospital. St. Joseph's Hospital, located in St. John, New Brunswick, is steeped in haunting tales tied to its long and storied history. Originally established in the late 19th century as a Catholic hospital, it was run by nuns who provided care to the sick and dying. Over the years, the hospital witnessed countless tragedies, including untimely deaths, which many believe have left an otherworldly mark on the site. Visitors and former staff report unexplained phenomena throughout the hospital, One of the most famous ghostly figures is a nun often seen wandering the hallways, dressed in an old-fashioned habit. She is believed to be the spirit of a nurse who dedicated her life to caring for patients, but passed away tragically on duty. Her apparition is said to bring an overwhelming feeling of peace to some, while others find her sudden presence deeply unsettling. Strange noises, such as footsteps in empty corridors and the sound of distant conversations, are frequently heard. Some visitors have reported hearing faint prayers or hymns, believed to be echoes from the hospital's religious past. Mysterious cold spots and flickering lights are common, even in areas where electrical systems no longer function. The hospital's basement is particularly notorious for its eerie atmosphere. Shadowy figures have been spotted lurking in the corners, and some claim to have felt an unseen hand brushing against them. Reports of gurneys moving on their own and doors slamming shut without explanation add to the chilling experiences. Although much of St. Joseph's Hospital is no longer in use, its reputation as one of Canada's most haunted hospitals persists. The combination of its religious roots, tragic history, and eerie encounters ensures its place in the annals of the paranormal. Number 4. Allen Memorial Institute. Allen Memorial Institute, located in Montreal, Quebec, is one of Canada's most infamous haunted locations, steeped in both historical and paranormal intrigue. Opened in 1940 as part of McGill University's psychiatry department, the institute became notorious for its involvement in controversial psychiatric experiments during the 1950s and 60s. These experiments, funded by the CIA's MK Ultra program, included unethical treatments such as electroshock therapy, sensory deprivation, and drug-induced comas. The psychological suffering of patients during these trials has fueled stories of restless spirits and paranormal activity. Numerous reports suggest that the Institute is haunted by the tormented souls of those who endured unimaginable trauma. Disembodied voices, echoing footsteps, and unexplainable screams have been heard in its corridors. Many visitors describe feeling an oppressive atmosphere, as if the building itself retains the anguish of its past inhabitants. Shadowy figures are often spotted in the windows, even when the rooms are unoccupied. One particularly chilling tale involves the ghost of a young woman believed to have been a patient during the experiments. Her apparition has been seen wandering the halls, her face etched with sorrow. She is said to disappear when approached, leaving behind a cold, unsettling presence. Staff and visitors have also reported doors slamming shut on their own, flickering lights, and objects moving inexplicably. The basement, where much of the experimental equipment was stored, is especially feared. Some have claimed to hear whispers and feel unseen hands brushing against them in the dark. While the Allen Memorial Institute still functions as a medical facility, its dark history and the lingering accounts of ghostly encounters make it a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts. The haunting tales serve as a chilling reminder of the suffering endured within its walls. Number 5. Sunnybrook Hospital. Sunnybrook Hospital, located in Toronto, Ontario, is not only one of Canada's largest healthcare facilities, but also a site shrouded in eerie tales of the paranormal. Originally established during World War II as a veterans hospital, Sunnybrook has a history deeply tied to trauma, loss, and recovery. Over the years, its connection to untimely deaths and its somber past has led to rumors of supernatural occurrences. The most persistent ghost story at Sunnybrook involves the apparition of a nurse. Described as wearing an old-fashioned uniform, she is often seen moving silently through the corridors, particularly in the older sections of the hospital. Staff and patients have reported her appearing near bedsides, as if tending to patients before vanishing into thin air. Her presence is said to be calming to some, though others find the experience deeply unsettling. Another common report is the sound of footsteps in empty hallways, accompanied by the faint clinking of medical equipment. Late at night, security personnel and staff have also claimed to hear muffled conversations or crying coming from unoccupied rooms. These sounds often stop abruptly when investigated, leaving no trace of their origin. One of the hospital's basements, used for storage and maintenance, is particularly infamous for its eerie atmosphere. Staff have described sudden cold drafts, unexplained shadows, and the sensation of being watched. Some have even reported objects moving on their own, such as carts rolling down empty hallways without any apparent cause. Despite being a bustling, modern hospital, these tales of ghostly encounters keep Sunnybrook's haunted reputation alive. Whether driven by the building's long history or the collective imagination of its visitors, the stories serve as a chilling reminder of the many lives that have passed through its doors.